So last night we left with the Har Kigigit, where HaKadosh Baruch Hu suspended the mountain as a barrel over the heads. And we said that the concept of Naaseh V'Nishma, which we dealt yesterday, the concept of Naaseh V'Nishma is very, very nice. And the person does it and so on and so forth. Then all of a sudden people are going to start looking for meaning, right, in it. What's the meaning? What's the reason? What's the meaning? What's the reason? What's the meaning? What's the reason? And when I reach a state where not everything is clear to me, or I did not find an answer to all the questions that I ask, so guess what? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing something I don't understand. I'm not doing it. That's the whole concept of emunah u'ma'aseh. We have to believe and then we do. We don't do and then believe. We don't do without believing without doing. Naaseh v'nishma is parallel to emunah u'ma'aseh. Doing an action and doing. And kfiyat ha'ar, suspending that mountain over their heads, as we say, came against the sechel, against the intellect that tries to control and try to understand and reason everything we do. So when we do that, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu suspended that, he said, listen, it's very nice that you had accepted the Naaseh V'Nishma. It's wonderful, terrific. We explained yesterday the difference between Naaseh, that they say twice, and Naaseh V'Nishma once. It's very nice. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. However, you should understand that there is consequences to this covenant, and your responsibility is great. And the responsibility is so great that you need to be able to understand of those consequences. And when you understand the severity of your actions, even when you do things that are not comfortable with your intellect, you're going to keep on doing it. For example, you're tired. You work hard. You're tired. You actually didn't make so much money. You don't have a lot of money. You bought very little. You have very little to eat. Maybe you have one yogurt in your refrigerator. And you come home late, and you're about to eat it. And all of a sudden your baby cries. Because your baby cries, he's hungry. What are you going to do? The sechel says, you eat it. I'm hungry, I work hard. However, you go to your baby, you give him yogurt. Against sechel. You're tired, you work hard. Everything, you don't take vacation. The way you see that is you don't think about yourself as a parent. You think about your kids. I want to do certain things. I can't. It's a responsibility. Responsibility creates an opportunity for you to do things on a higher level. When you have no responsibility, you do nonsense. You acting and operating under very low level of interaction with life. You can have meaning to life when you have no responsibility. There's no meaning to your actions if there's no responsibility. And your responsibility is greater than you. You have responsibility for your children. You have responsibility for your students. Don't be so depressed. You have responsibility for your people. And you have responsibility for generations that were before you and will be after you. By realizing that responsibility, you are able to do things on a higher and deeper level. You're able to give from yourself and propel yourself to do greater things than you will ever imagine. Chas v'shalom, if there is a fire. God forbid there's a fire in the house. The mother is outside, the baby is inside. It does not make sense that the mother will go back in. She will die. However, she does not think. She goes back inside, throws the baby out of the window, saving his life without even thinking twice about her life, not even thinking once about her life. That's responsibility. But that's an unbelievable way of living. Now you see, when people are afraid of responsibilities, you'll understand that their level of interaction with what they do is going to be very low, very shallow, and very limited. If you want to know what kind of a worker the person is, one question you should ask, how responsible is this person? When you interview him or you ask for references, you dating someone, how responsible this person is. Is he willing to accept responsibility? Responsibility is a major thing. That's why Kadosh Baruch Hu put the mountain over our heads and said, listen guys, there's a responsibility for your thing. Oh, okay, we'll do it. In a way, Kadosh Baruch Hu did us a favor by placing that mountain over our heads. As the Gemara reflects on it. The Gemara says that the whole destiny of the world was dependent on Am Yisrael receiving the Torah or not. If Am Yisrael would not have received the Torah, there will be no point to this world. That's the responsibility. However, this is your responsibility as well. Today, every single day, the covenant is being renewed. How is it being renewed? By you learning Torah. By you living your life according to the values of Torah. Lo tichrot brit im yoshev haaretz. You should not make a covenant with the people of the land. Why? Because they're going to take you off the path of Torah, regardless how good of a deal that is. And regardless what anybody else says. So, if there is one thing to learn from this week's parasha, of course, we are not talking about the 10 commandments that are the building block of any Western society. If you think about it. We're not talking about those. And by the way, it is inappropriate to get up, to stand up, while in the middle of reading that Torah, that portion. Halachically and practically, there's no difference between Asheret HaDibrot and to Aluf Edom, Aluf Moab, Aluf this. The whole entire Torah is as important from Bereshit until Le'enei Kol Am Yisrael. From beginning, it's all one thing. So by taking one portion and making it more important than the others, you're doing wrong. If you do want to stand for this aliyah, however, it's appropriate for you to stand before that, not during. I said, for me, the whole entire Torah is one thing. Doesn't make a difference to me. So you should announce it to the people. If you are in the minyan here, you should announce it to the people so people will not get up, because it's in a way disrespectful for the other portions of the Torah. However, if that's the only thing you're going to get from this week's parasha, you had accomplished a great deal in your life. Is assuming responsibility allows you to experience on a higher and deeper level. It is a release mechanism that helps you relieve yourself from the grip of the intellect, of the grip that actually holds you down. Because if you want to so-called meditate, you have to stop using your intellect. You stop using your sechel. I mean, if you think about it, having babies is really not rational. Here you go, a baby will cost you through his lifespan, I don't know what, something like, if he goes to yeshivas, $1 million a kid, $500,000 a kid, there's a lot of money. Diapers, schmipers, babysitting, all these things, it doesn't make a difference. You have a couple of kids, this is $2 million. Take this money, save it, spend it, doesn't make sense. However, we understand that we need to have kids. It's something that is greater than us. Even if it doesn't make financial sense, it's a burden. Here you have kids, right? You get married, you have kids right away. Goodbye and good luck. You won't be able to do anything with your wife or fun or going places until you're going to be 60 years old. Everybody's out of the nest. And then on top of that, you're going to have the empty nest syndrome. But yet, you do it. And you're willing to give from yourself. And that allows you a lot. Now, the problem is, when you are irresponsible and you're having kids, you're actually causing damage, you're destroying things. And that's a matter of intellect, mind over matter, matter over mind. That's very nice. We are talking about something else completely different. We're talking about emunah u'maaseh. And emunah comes before. And I do things because I believe that this is the right thing to do. Why? Not because my intellect told me to do so. It's because the Torah given to me by God told me to do so. And that's why I'm doing it. And when I learn Torah, this is my responsibility to learn Torah. When the covenant is being renewed every single day by me learning, if I don't learn, there are consequences to my actions. There are some exemptions that we would allow you not to learn Torah during the day, and they're quite few and very unique. However, it is your obligation to learn Torah. There will be consequences. If you think that the mountain was only suspended then on top of Am Yisrael receiving the Torah every single day, when you get up in the morning, you make Birkat Torah, you are renewing the covenant. Good. Now there is a mountain suspending over your head. Now you got to learn. Now you need to do things on a different level. Don't be selfish. It's not just about you. When you learn Torah, you fix the place that you're at. If the place is corrupted, there's no Torah. Rabbi Yossi ben Kisma said, you give me 1,000 golden coins. I am not moving to a place when there's no Torah in it. That's it. You can't buy it. There's no Torah, there's no Kedusha. There's no Kedusha, so what am I doing there? What am I doing there? And that is your responsibility. Anywhere you go to learn. Every place you go, you're sitting on a train, you're learning Torah. You just fix that rail. The whole portion that the rail goes, you fixed it. In your office, at home, all day long, as much as you can, the best of your abilities. Don't worry about your money. Don't worry about your parnasah. You don't get your money from God. You don't get it from the government. You get it from God. You created that opportunity to receive Torah. That's the only one that gives you money. Not your boss, no one. HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself is the only one who gives you parnasah, who gives you the money. You need to do what you need to do. But when you learn, you learn. I told you that. They say about Rav Mordechai Eliyahu alav shalom, for him an hour was an hour of 60 minutes. And every minute had 60 seconds. It's a ridiculous thing. What do you mean? Well, by you an hour is half an hour. No. When he learned, he utilized every portion of his time to do what he needed to do. And that was most of the time learning and helping people. Learning and helping people. He started doing it. You'll go at 6 o'clock in the morning to his office. There were lines of people already waiting. He'll do it like this. 7 o'clock, there will be lines of people. There was never a time for him that he was doing something, nothing, chilling out, smoking a cigarette, having fun, looking at the paper. Never. Utilize your time. Your time on this earth is very limited. And you have to do what you need to do, and you have to do it right, and you have to do it with responsibility. You want to look for a meaning? Find responsibility. Shabbat Shalom.